It is now time to talk about proposals. So, you found a job that you want, and you want to engage, you want to get the attention of the person that has posted the job or the project. And generally this is called proposals. It might be called something else depending on the freelance site you're on. They may call it a bid. But you're trying to win the work. You're trying to get the job. And I will tell you right now, to try and get your attention, that if there's one video that you watch in this entire course, and there's one that you sit up and pay attention to, this is it. Is I believe I have I believe in this video I have here the biggest secret to success in freelancing, particularly on freelancing community websites, type of websites where there's lots and lots of job postings, lots of people trying to get the work. Okay? Have your attention. Let's go. All right. The first thing I want to show you is here's an example of a job. When I want to go ahead and submit the proposal, here it is right here. This is the example in Upwork. Other sites will have a different way to do it, but you submit a proposal and it's going to get you to fill in some fields. And what it starts with here is the terms, and requires, 2 connects. Again, those are the things that you have on your account that are required to actually basically pay to be able to submit a proposal. You get a number of connects for free, and then you get a bunch more if you end up paying for them. So you put your bid in, and look at this. Upwork service fee is $120 in this example here. $700, then $120, and then $580 is what I would end up receiving. This service fee, as I was talking to you in one of the previous videos, this can change depending on the work that you're doing. So don't get bummed out by this. This is just a cost of doing business on Upwork, for example. And anyway, so then it shows what you'll receive, the estimated duration. So how long is it going to take to do this project? Sometimes this is almost impossible to predict based on their description of the job. You really don't know, but just put something in. Don't put, don't err on the lower side, and then you can always revise that after you have your discussion. So I would say something like less than 1 month on a project, that's of this size and scope, just looking at it. Then I have my cover letter. Then I can also list links to some of my work. I can have attachments if I want, and then I can submit a proposal. Now, some people that, and let me just back up. The cover letter is basically your pitch. This list links that work. This may be a new thing that Upwork is doing, or this may have been a particular field that this project person that put the project on has requested, because sometimes you'll have 2 or 3 questions that the client will want you to answer as well. So, and you've got to answer them. Don't bother submitting if you're not going to answer the specific questions and fields. So you need to have something to put in here and in here. Okay? And do it the way they want it. Sometimes they'll sneak into the proposal, if it's a long proposal, they'll say, use the word elephant in the first sentence of your proposal, which sounds crazy, but they're trying to get rid of and weed out the people that are just cutting and pasting their resume everywhere. Okay, which is a good indication of how to not do a proposal properly, is to cut and paste it everywhere. So this is sort of what you're looking at as far as technically how to submit that proposal. Okay, let's go back to it and let's continue on. So when to propose? We've talked about this a bit. I say get your proposal in as quickly as possible. If you can get it in the first couple of hours, awesome. You want, as a goal of your proposal, and I think this is where some people don't get it, your goal of your proposal is to engage and start a conversation with the client. Now, admittedly, I've won jobs, or at least one that I'm thinking of right now, where I never actually got on the phone or on Skype and had a live conversation with someone, but almost always you're going to have a conversation with someone, at least a chat back and forth, live interaction. So that is the goal of your proposal. The goal is not to win the entire job with one proposal. It's to start an engagement. So really go for that. And that itself may set you aside. And the fact that you want to have a conversation with them, you want to have a discussion about their project before you're just awarded the job, that can help set you apart, and it shows confidence. So very important. Okay? Now, here it is. Drum roll, please. The big secret to success in a proposal is to actually, pay attention, is to actually start doing the job, the project, the work in the proposal. I hope that makes sense. So, let me give you a couple of examples. If someone asks for me to write a sales script for a telemarketer that's going to call and sell life insurance to senior care homes or something, or maybe it's to seniors, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the first 2 paragraphs of that script, an example of what it might be, and I'm going to put that right in the proposal. Here's what I think would be a great way to get their attention. Here's the top 3 questions that I would ask them. Here's the 2 objections I would expect, and how you would handle them. No one else is going to do that. I really believe this is so rare. You're going to stand out so much. Now let me give you another example. What if it's a programming job and they're saying, I need a program that'll do the X, Y, and Z. And you can say, well, here's the code that I'm thinking will actually work, and actually include some of the actual programming code in it. Or if someone's asking for a logo, instead of just giving them examples of logos that you've done for other people, say, here's what I'm thinking. Here's some of my initial thoughts for your logo. What do you think of these? And actually put a couple of quick drafts. Now, I don't want you to spend any more than 20 or 30 minutes doing that. An hour at the absolute most. And you might be objecting to this, saying, well, I don't have time to do that. What do you mean? I'm giving them the work for free? That doesn't make any sense. Trust me, this is how to win the job. Because the deal is here, while everyone else is telling them how great they are and why they should hire them and what they did for everybody else, what you're doing is showing them work that you can do for them. They're seeing the work. You're not convincing them theoretically. You are showing them what you're going to do for them because you've actually started it. I hope this is resonating. It's harder than copying and pasting a resume. But I fully believe, I've had so many conversations with prospects, and I'm convinced it's because of this. They always want to, they get excited about your proposals because, oh wow, I like the look of that logo. Oh, I like the opening paragraph. Let's say you're writing a business plan. Well, I'm not suggesting that you write the entire business plan, but you could list the outline of how you would do their business plan. How easy would that be? That wouldn't even take you that long. But not just a generic business plan, their business plan. Let's say they're a lawyer in family law. You write an outline of how you're going to help get them funding in the business plan that you're doing. Or someone is asking for like a screenplay or something. Then you would say, here's what I think would be a great opening scene for your play. I'm trying to think of some other examples, but you get the idea, right? I'm actually going to show you some examples of proposals that I have done. Okay, so we're going to get back to this, but I'm so you can tell I'm passionate about this. Is no one is doing this. You do this, you separate yourself from everybody else, and I believe that even if you don't win the job, they're going to remember you. Okay, and I believe it will increase your likelihood of winning jobs dramatically. And I'm not talking theoretically. This is how I approach this, and this is what I consider that this one little item the biggest secret to success in freelancing. Okay, pricing. Everyone thinks that pricing is the most important thing. It isn't, and people often think that you gotta be right competing with the best price. Not at all. I think I've mentioned this before. If you can help it, don't be the top price, but also don't go for the bottom. I would put yourself somewhere between the average to the top, somewhere in there, even closer to the top. That's fine. Because you're going to impress these guys so much with how you write these proposals because you're demonstrating what you're worth. Okay? All right. And a good business owner recognizes that, whether they pay $700 or something or $1,000 for something is not nearly as important as it is if they get a great person or someone that's a slob or a loser. Okay? So your proposal is you're demonstrating how you do the work. Okay. Time management, quantity versus excellence. So when I'm talking about time management, I'm talking about writing proposals. So you could go out and say, you know what, today I am going to submit 20 proposals. Well, don't try and do it my way. You'll be exhausted. You're going to have to work day and night to get 20 proposals in. Go for 3 great ones. 3 jobs that you actually want, and do the proposals up like I'm suggesting. And if you did 3 a day for a while, you're going to end up with some opportunities. I believe that. That's been my experience. Okay. And again, this kind of comes back to you're doing the opposite of what most people are doing. So you start to stand out automatically. Okay, templates versus custom proposals. So this again comes back to copying and pasting your resume into that section of the proposal. And this is where this is where you're going to end up putting it, is in the cover letter section. And while it's definitely tempting to do, you need to customize it. Now, the good news is you don't have to write it from scratch. Once you've done a bunch of them, like let's say I've written up a good proposal for business plans. Well, I can now use 80 or 90% of that proposal for everyone that I submit a proposal to help them write a business plan. But I still need to customize 10% of it, because that's actually what they're going to care about, or maybe 20% of it.